Why are we celebrating today? You need to discover.
Okay, yeah, but we should still get on. Well, all y'all can do is try to be like Columbus.
Why you be off tomorrow?
Columbus Day is Monday. We're not get off.
Why don't we get off on a federal holiday?
I think we should get off on you guys.
I agree.
I think it should be like my dad has that he gets one day like it's like a range around his eye just like one day. Let us have to. We can't. I was my birthday this year is on a Sunday. My dad's going for his
Payday.
I can't wait for his birthday.
I get paid on my birthday.
My dad has like mandatory conditions on my birthday from
Well, 2 weeks from today, 2 weeks from today, I will be in university. This is a work trip.
You're going on a work trip?
And Disney, yeah. Because that Friday, the whatever it is our Disney work day. Yeah, so they give us tickets, we go to Disney. Just found out they're giving us like each $50 gift card for food. $100 for
January 31st. And you're January. March, April, March, 20, well, 28, 17, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 24th.
Yeah.
No, that's the same as my dad.
Your dad's on 20.
Yeah, my dad.
I'm sorry, but if you're not a Capricorn, you're dead to me. You need to be a Capricorn. Capricorn is What is it called again?
Are you making me guess?
What is a Capricorn or Aquarius called?
Second, fourth, third.
It's like
Miss Kylie's birthday is Saturday. Saturday.
Wait, I
It's the 8th.
yeah.
It's Saturday. Yep. It's Pastor Jay's. It's Pastor Jay's birthday. Pastor Jay, his dad. Judah's birthday is not till the 12th.
Pisces.
What is it?
Oh, no, you're not.
And then Miss Joyce's is November 2nd. So November is like full. November is full. Because the 2nd is Miss Joyce's. The 9th is Miss Greg's. The 15th is
Where am I?
17th is Miss Amy's. Her mom's is 18th.
And this has to be
Correct.
so Miss
And
Amy's birthday is
this is Tanner.
the 19th.
Tanner's birthday is 19th.
I want my birthday.
Fresh, Italian, British, French. She was literally saying salt. Salt. That's all I want. 4'11" and 5. No, I'm saying 4'11" and 5 foot. Where's the fourth?
Whose birthday is it? Your dad's?
My grandmother.
Megan, give me a microphone. We may be 4 inches.
September 11th.
You literally just said maybe his birthday.
Mr. Chris Shanks is as well. Miss Terry is 17th. And how do you know? Cole's parents' anniversary was the 24th.
Why? Why would you know this?
Who's coming up? Pastor Jay's today, Miss Kylie's
My
Saturday,
parents, my
Judith's
parents
12,
told me completely different stories
Mr.
about
Greg
my
Jimerson's on the 3rd.
So I have no idea how they met. My dad said it was some like work conference. They were partners on jobs. And then my mom said they met on a dating website. Probably dating website. My mom would lie about that. My dad told me when I was like 7, and I probably would laugh a lot about it.
Same day as Bella's birthday. No. Who else do I know? I got Pastor Phil and just learned the same thing. You're right. I don't have that. It was really weird because I did that.
Welcome to GP Youth, everybody. Thank you for coming by. No, I love it. That's fantastic. So, we've got some announcements. I did not end up putting an announcement slide in there. Can you pause that for me, buddy? Alrighty. We do not have an announcement slide, so it's just going to be what it's going to be. Alrighty. So, announcements. We have the middle school drive-in movie night on the 15th. Very good. I was just testing you guys. I definitely know that. But yeah, so that's going to be on the 15th. It's going to be a blast. You're going to, it's a drive-in movie. We're going to watch Back to the Future, I believe. And it's going to be super fancy, Jesse edited, which always means it's a good time. And then you can bring in, you can build your own car there, or you can build it at home and bring it, but it's got to be a cardboard box car. It's really, really cool. It's a lot of fun. I'm always impressed to see what the creations that everybody makes are. And then we've also got, wow, that's interesting. That's not supposed to include that, whatever. Then we also have, what else do we have? We've got the high school cookout on the 16th of October, and that's also going to be a blast. So make sure if you're in high school, you go to that one. If you're in middle school, go to the other one. Then, what else do we have? We've got the fundraiser thing for anybody going to NYC. NYC registration has closed, so there's this mile trip thingy that
So what
you
we
can.
want you to do outside of church, we don't want you to go around the people in church because we're already doing a lot of fundraiser in church. Go outside of church. Go to your friends, your neighbors, your relatives, your aunt, whatever. And you want to try and get them to sponsor at least 1 mile, if not more. What is your mom's aunt, whatever? Patootie. There we go. I was right. What did I say?
You started saying it.
Okay, and I stopped. Anyway, so if you actually can get all your miles sponsored, it will raise enough money to pay for your entire mission trip and to have some left over to go in your student camp. So, I mean, student camp or something like that. So,
Sweet.
do it.
Do it. You won't. All right. So yeah, that's gonna be a good time.
It's over on the table over there.
Yeah, do that and grab it from the table if you're going on the NYC trip. Now, moving on. We've got one more announcement that I'm forgetting, and I don't remember what it is. Anybody else remember an announcement?
19th?
This is a professional run operation.
The 19th
Okay, we
is
don't.
Halloween. The 19th is the
That's
youth
it.
Christmas Halloween costume party.
Youth costume.
And the
party.
26th is Fall Fun Fest, and there's a registration.
That one. It's on right there, Zachary.
Yeah, I'll get a new guest wheel. What's up?
The sign up sheet for the Fall Fun Festival.
Sign up sheet for the Fall Fun Festival. Do we want to pass this around?
Yeah.
We need help.
Doing table. Working on the table.
All right. Well, you can just keep passing it along. Pass it along so people can sign up if they want to sign up. All right. Other than that, I think we've got mail call. We don't have a video, so
Miss Brittany just told me.
it's gonna be really weird, honestly. During the mail call. Oh, there is one. This definitely isn't the same one that I'm gonna get you twice. I got him again.
No. What they should do is they should just have it completely, but just completely normal one time. Or just absolutely.
Kaylani. Let's go, Kaylani. Let's come on. Get hyped. All right, fantastic. We got Paige. Cole. Zach. I know him. Yeah, you know that. You know that one. I just wanted to make sure. I was like, is that me? Okay. We got Tomas. It's Thomas. We've got Kyle. Kyle's not here. Shame on him. All right, that's it. Okay, cool. So we've got the new guest wheel. So we're gonna break that out. Oh yeah, we've got T-shirts. If somebody wants to buy a T-shirt, they're $15, and they're like kind of cool because they're like half sleeve. I'm not sure how I feel about them, but it's cool to have GP Youth on it. All right. So if you are new here, you get to spin this wheel. So come up and bring the person that brought you. If you are new.
If no one brought
See
you,
if you-
you're still new, you can
Yeah,
come up.
come on up. Yeah, if nobody brought you, yeah, come on up because there are some awesome prizes on here, and it's you definitely want to get one of them. All right, so first, we're a very deep group for the new people that are here. We're a very, very deep group. You can hop on over here. We're a very, very deep group. We do things very seriously. We're 100% deep. So I'm gonna ask you some deep questions like what grade you're in, what school you go to, what your favorite ice cream is. So pretty deep questions here. And your name. I was getting there. Wow. All right. Tough crowd. All right. So what is your name, school you go to, favorite ice cream, and grade you're in?
I'm Ethan. I go to Old Mill.
Nice.
Grade 7, and
Nice.
I guess chocolate.
Chocolate ice cream. Can't go wrong with chocolate. Go ahead and spin the wheel. Guys, I want the best clapping ever. Let's go. An edited children's book, autographed photo or clip-on tie. So you can. It looks like you can choose. Would you like an edited children's book or an autographed photo of clip-on tie? Your call. He wants the book, the edited children's book. Thank you, Kayla. All right, you can go return to your seat. All right, come on up. Come on up. All right. So what's your name? What's your name?
Kaylani.
Nice. What's your school?
I'm homeschooled.
Homeschool?
Yes.
Nice. Same thing. What grade are you in?
7.
7? Nice. I never knew the answer to that question. Whenever they'd ask me, like, what grade are you in? I'm homeschooled. What do you want from me? I'm in 12th grade math and 5th grade English. What do you want? And then, what's your favorite ice cream?
Strawberry.
Strawberry. Go ahead and spin the wheel. Go for it. Strawberry's a good choice. Marshmallow fight. Fantastic. So you have now made it so the entire youth group next week can have a marshmallow fight. They usually do it either before or after youth group. So great job. You can go ahead and head back to your seat. All right, buddy. What is your name?
Ryan,
What school do you go to?
Old Mill,
Old Mill. Nice. And what grade are you
9th.
in? Nice. Favorite toothpaste? I'm just kidding. Favorite ice cream?
I'll just go chocolate. I don't know.
Chocolate. It's good. If you would have answered, it would have been the answer to both, like toothpaste and your. You didn't. So it's all good. I'm just kidding. Spin the wheel. Pastor Jesse has to wear the Twilight shirt to the youth group. You have just you killed it. That's a great spin right there. That is awesome. Yeah, I love it when people. I love it. It's fantastic. All right, so we are going to go ahead and have our game now. So, Kayla is going to be in charge of our game, so she's going to pick our peoples.
I need 6 volunteers. You're not gonna know. Maddie, Charlotte, Thomas. Yes, you can get up. Cole, Timmy, Malachi. You can come too. You're new. I'm 7 now. Okay, you're gonna. Yeah, you guys are really close. Go behind the stands. The shorter people in the front. No, you're one of the short. No. I'm just kidding, Cole. Go ahead. Thomas. Oh my gosh. Get up. I'm almost as tall as him. Maddie, scoot closer. Just stand right here, Timmy. Okay, so it's called Don't Crack. Well, okay, so each person's gonna take a turn. You're gonna make a very obscure noise to make someone laugh. But if any of you cracks a smile, if I see any teeth, you're out. And so, Zach, you're gonna help with the CBC teeth? No, we're making it so you can't show teeth, you can't laugh, you can't budge, because we can't make this go forever. Okay, Maddie, you're gonna start. Can't make yourself laugh either. You just making random noise. Me.
I saw some teeth. Saw some teeth. Get on out. Come on.
Moo. Rough.
Ow.
Oink. Moo. Chipmunk goose. Okay, cool. Bye.
He just said
Let's
random.
do it together. Just walk in your car. Just get down.
He said a random word.
We got Malachi, get next to Thomas. Eeyore. Eeyore. Got him. Yeah, keep laughing, guys. So make them Good job.
All right, great job, everybody. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and ask our worship team to come on up. I think there is a bumper video in there, maybe, but if not, don't worry about it. But there's not. Okay, cool. I'm just going to have our worship team. Okay, cool. Yeah.
storms move for good on the land that conquered death. And the dead rose from their tombs, and the angels stood in awe. And the souls of all who come to the Father on His throne. And the Church of Christ was born, and the Spirit gave the flame. That's God, the King of all. Shall not live, shall not fade. By His blood and in His name, in His freedom I am free. For the blood of Jesus Christ, who has resurrected me. Praise the Father, praise the Son, praise the Spirit, three in one. God of glory, majesty, praise forever to the King of Kings. Praise forever to the I love that song. It's just like church history about that song. All my words fall short. I've got nothing new. How could I express all my gratitude? I could sing this song as I often do. Every song must end, and you never leave. So I throw up my hands and praise you again and again. 'Cause all that I have is a hallelujah. And I know it's not much, but I've nothing else fit for a king, except for a heart singing hallelujah. I've got one response. I've got just shy on me. Lift up your song. You've got a lion inside of those clothes. Get up and praise the Lord. Let's sing that out, just a voice. Oh, come on, my soul. Oh, don't you get shy on me. Lift up your song. 'Cause you've got a lion inside of those clothes. Get up and praise the Lord. Oh, come on, my soul. Oh, don't you get shy on me. Lift up your song. 'Cause you got a lion inside of us. Get up and praise the Lord. Oh, come on, my soul. Oh, don't you get shy on me. Lift up your song. 'Cause you got a lion inside of us. Get up and praise the Lord. Sing it one more time. Oh, come on, my soul. Oh, don't you get shy on me. Lift up your song. 'Cause you got a lion inside of us. Get up and praise the Lord. Throw up my hands and praise you again and again. All that I have is a hallelujah. And I know it's not much, but I've nothing else fit for me except for a heart singing oh, don't you get shy on me. Lift up your song. 'Cause you've got a lion inside of those lungs. Get up and praise the Lord. Oh, come on, my soul. Oh, don't you get shy on me. Lift up your song. 'Cause you got a lion inside of those lungs. Get up and praise the Lord. Oh, come on, my soul. Oh, don't you get shy on me. Lift up your song. 'Cause you got a lion inside of those lungs. Get up and praise the Lord. Oh, come on, my soul. Oh, don't you get shy on me. Lift up your song. 'Cause you got a lion inside of those lungs. Get up and praise the Lord. And I'll throw up my hands and praise you again and again. 'Cause all that I have is a hallelujah. And I know it's not much, but I'm fit for a king. Except for a heart singing Amen. God, I thank you for all that you are. I thank you for all that you've done for us, and we have nothing but gratitude for all that you've given us. I just pray that you would continue to help us to see all the things that we have to be grateful for and help us to count our blessings. I pray that you would speak
through Mike tonight, through Pastor Mike, and just continue to reveal yourself to us in mighty ways and set us on the path that you have for us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Good stuff, guys. That was a lot of fun. All right, we're going to welcome up Pastor Mike, and he's going to give the sermon tonight. Pastor Mike, I'm going to pass him the mic. I'm just kidding. He's got his own mic. He's that cool.
It's better than a mic drop, so that's all right.
Oh!
I don't need a table, no. I don't need a mic.
That's good because Jesus turned those over. Jesus was one of the best DJs because he turned the tables. You can take that one and store that away for a rainy day.
Yeah, you could. Good evening, everybody. Yes, it was a good morning. Now it's a good evening. Yes, and for some it was even a good afternoon. Yeah. Okay. So how are we all doing this evening? Good. And yeah. Oh, look at that. It's a little tiny, like that. That's so everybody can read it really well. Guess what we're talking about tonight? Love. Yes. Yeah. Like you've never heard any messages or anything about love in church before, right?
No, it is going to be about hate. It's going to be about
No, it's not. Actually, the word hate will never come into this message tonight. Oh, look at that.
I'm going to make sure.
Angel just got its wings. It's okay.
I just trick you into making that statement false.
No.
You just said hate.
Okay. So. Hi. So while they're fixing that, not quite sure how they're going to fix, but while they're fixing that, let's talk a little bit about love. So I'm like, what do I want to talk about tonight? I could talk about love, or I could talk about, but I didn't want to talk about, so I just thought I'd talk about love, right? And so, it is. So I started thinking, oh, there it is, love. Like the little beating hearts, even that's like, yeah, there we go. So I thought I'd start out by telling you stuff about me that you don't know. Okay, you ready for this? Okay, so back when I was in high school, we were going to church in Pennsylvania, and we just started this brand new church. Okay, my dad was a pastor, but he was on sabbatical, and so he decided my grandparents were starting to get older. It would be nice if we moved back close to my grandparents. I got to know my grandparents before they died. I did. It was great. Okay, so we started going to this brand new Nazarene church, and I walked in the first Sunday, and there she was, the girl I was going to marry. Okay, that wasn't my first thought. My first thought was, oh, I wonder who that is. My second thought was, no, it wasn't. Anyway, so her name was Barb. Okay, Barb, great. And I was, so I sat down and I started talking to Barb, and I found out that here I wanted to be a doctor, and she wanted to be a nurse. How about that? Jeez, how better fit. And I wanted to go to ENC, and she wanted to go to ENC, and I trip over cords, and she didn't trip over cords. And I'm like, this is the perfect person. This is the person I'm going to marry. I was in love with Barb. For those of you that don't know, my wife's name is not Barb. I did not marry Barb. But anyway, yes, I know. But I thought it was because, and so I was willing to do it. Hi. That's why I'm facing this way, so I don't have to look in those lights. Yeah, they're getting right to the side, though. See, look at that. I walked here. Isn't that awesome? There we go. So anyway, I don't know if you've ever met this person you really, really like, but have you noticed that you're willing to do things for them that maybe you normally wouldn't? I mean, I was willing to. She liked music that I didn't like, but I listened to it anyway. Okay? And then one day, we broke up. Then I met Robin. Not Pastor Robin. Not Pastor Robin. Met Robin. And Robin's claim to fame in my life was that she wanted to dye her hair purple and be a punk rocker. Yeah, can you see me dating? Can you see me dating something like that? Thank you. That's great. Paige says thank you very much. And once again, I was not how many of you know that I'm not into like punk rock or rap or anything like that? And guess what? I went to like concerts with this girl and everything because I was in love, and I was willing to do things for her because And yes, and then we broke up. And then I started dating Barbara. No, sorry. And then one day I went to ENC. Yay, ENC, great. I went to ENC and I met this girl. I was like, this is the girl I'm gonna marry. This is great. Her name was Candy. You thought it was gonna be Miss Shelley. No, she didn't have any clue that I was around, so it's okay. And then Miss Shelley was dating somebody else at the time. Yes, but we were good. So my junior year, I was in physics class, and Miss Shelley was in my physics class at ENC, and she was a freshman, I was a junior, but I was friends with all the girls on her floor. Why? Because one of my friends came from my district, and they're like, we want to go into ENC, we don't want to go in by ourselves, would you escort us into to Boston? Like, let's see, 9 girls and me. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. I know, it's okay. And anyway, so, but she wasn't part of that group. She was dating somebody else. Then she broke up, and the girls all invited her along. And that's when I discovered Miss Shelley. And you know, at first it was like, she's kind of cute, it's okay. But obviously she won my heart over, and once again, I was willing to do a lot for her. Okay, in fact, yeah, so, I mean, she would bring me her homework and I would do it for her. And I did not do her homework for her. Okay, just you need to know I did not do her homework for her. Okay, I'm just throwing that in. But no, I was willing to move to Maryland. We started dating. I spent some summers down here. Her dad got me a couple of an internship in Frederick, and I worked a couple of summers in Frederick, and we ended up getting married. And yeah, that was 33 years ago. Yeah.
I totally didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay. So, all that to say that one of the things that love does is love makes you do things for people, right? And maybe sometimes love makes you do things you wouldn't normally do. Okay? To this day, I can't stand punk rock. I'm just saying. I can't, but yeah, I can't. So, I got a little video for you. Oh, look, and I'm gonna click it because it should click, right?
So you were 10 when you got married?
I was 10 when I got married? Thank you very much. I wasn't though, but thank you.
Wait, you were 1 when you got married?
Yeah.
Wait, you were -1 when you got married?
That's on. It's not clicking. Is it not plugged in? Oh well, just click it for me then. Good.
Love that first page.
Okay, guys. Wait, why does he change?
What does the word love mean to you? Wow. Ooh. Ooh, love. Love.
Love. Oh my goodness.
That means you love somebody. I think love is a way. Actually, I'm not really sure how to answer this question.
It's complicated. Love is a complicated thing.
Well, one of the definitions is that condition or state where the happiness of another is essential to one's own.
I think love is just a form of God.
Well, if you're talking family-wise, it means everything. But if you're talking like marriage, I mean, you can be single. I mean, let's go back with it too.
Deep. Oh, you know, you're asking the wrong age group because the first thing I want to do is say love means never having to say you're sorry.
Love means never having to say you're sorry. But I don't believe that at all because I feel like you say you're sorry a lot.
Love to me is the greatest marketing campaign ever invented. Love for me is being 100% vulnerable and all the way in, you know.
You can love yourself first. Because once you learn how to love yourself, you can love anything in this world.
Someone that loves you because you're you.
Love means accepting people where they are.
It has to be a two-way street. It can't just be, you know, I'm accepting you, you gotta accept me too.
I think that it's
being able to do something for somebody else that maybe you wouldn't normally do or maybe you wouldn't want to do, but you do it anyway because it's something that they want to do. Even if you like hate it so much, you just would do anything because you want to be with them.
Love is a powerful thing, and it makes you do the things you never thought you could do. And I think it makes life worth living.
Everything else becomes nothing. Okay, all that matters is that the whole two hearts, they expand to that infinity.
It means, in a funny way, freedom, because you're free to feel so many feelings so deeply.
Love to me is something you do on a day-to-day basis. And so you can hold affection and you can hold nostalgia. And I think love is active.
I always say I'd rather love someone than be in love with someone, because being in love with someone implies that you can fall out of it.
If you're really close to your family, I consider that love, right? So any other person, friend or family or love interest, if you see them as your family, then that's love.
Love means, to me, a big ol' kiss on your mouth, and you're not against it at all.
I'm married 55 years. Our job in life, the two of us, is to look after each other and see to it that we're our best selves, so to speak. So I try to help her be her best self, and she tries to help me, and to me, that's love. I hope to do that as long as I can stay awake.
It's like something you can dance about, or something you can sing about, or something you can build a building about, but I don't know. I don't really feel like words suffice when it comes to that.
Love means
That one's pretty great. I guess you can't describe it.
So then gay, subscribe.
That's where we're supposed to stop it.
Okay, so hold on a second here. Now I'll call the music up. So, essentially, there's this project. It's called the 0 to 100 project, and they have 100 people, or 105, I guess, in that one case with the old guy, and they ask them different questions. And so this one question was, when you hear the word love, what does love mean to you? And there were a variety of responses. Some of them a little more funny than the others. Not quite sure about the guy that it means a big old kiss on the mouth. But what I want to know, and what you are going to know, so I want you to turn to somebody near you, and I want you to tell each other what love means to you. And then we're going to get a couple of you to share out, so make sure you listen closely to what they say.
It looks like you.
Okay, can I get 5 people to tell me what you came up with? Thomas, what you got? God, okay. Paige, you raised your hand. Yeah. What's love? Okay. Audrey. Okay. Kaden. An act of kindness can be love. Okay, good. One more. Charlotte. Put your trust in someone. Good. Okay, Tammy, I said 5, but we'll go 6.
Well, not attacking someone.
Okay, good. Okay, so.
Not my brothers.
Go ahead and flip the slide over here. Okay, so we're in John chapter 13 tonight, verses 34 and 35, and I need a volunteer to read.
new command I give to you, love one another as I have loved you. So you must love one another. By this everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another.
So why are we talking about love tonight? And does love mean kissy kissy kind of love?
Yes.
No. Although in the Bible, it does say greet one another with a holy kiss. But that's not the kind of love we're talking about tonight. So what kind of love are we talking about tonight? God's love. Good, because it says love one another as I have loved you, so you must love one another. Oh, and then there's one of my favorite verses. By this, everyone that you will know that you are my disciples if you love one another. So, how would we know if Addie was a good volleyball player? If you saw her play, okay? And if she were a good volleyball player, what would you see? Okay, good. Good volleyball player. Great. How would we know if Sarah could play the saxophone well? Listen to her, right? Okay. How would we know if Cole could drive a semi-truck?
He can't.
He can't.
Not legally.
Not legally. Okay. Okay, yeah, well, I'm sorry. I was going to put him in NASCAR, but I'm not sure if he's done that. So I was pretty sure he hadn't driven a semi. Okay, so how would we know? Oh, now I'm having fun now. How would we know if Megan? Oh, let's see. How do we know if Megan could sing?
Listening to her.
Listening to her. Good. How would we know if I could sing? How many of you say I'm a singer? Okay, you've never heard me sing, so you would have no idea if I'm a singer or not, right? Sing the national anthem.
But we didn't say which national anthem.
Okay.
Sing hate.
So, how do you know if someone is a good fill in the blank? How do you know if someone is a good whatever? Okay, you observe them, right? In this case, this verse says, we'll know, and we're going to change the wording a little bit here. By this, everyone will know that you are Christians if you love one another. So let's think about this for a moment. Who am I going to pick on? I am going to pick on.
Pick on me.
I'm going to pick on Kylie. And let's say that I went to Kylie's school to observe Kylie, but she didn't know I was there. Okay? It kind of is, but it's all right. I'm observing, not stalking. Okay? Her dad knew I was there, so I'm not stalking anymore. There we go. Now I'm just observing. And I went and observed Kylie, and I wanted to see, is Kylie showing signs of being a good Christian? Okay? And so I'm watching from a distance. Okay, I did actually have one video that was kind of funny. It was along with Tim Hawkins, and it's like, yes, my wife spied me watching her in the parking lot. I'm not sure how because I was hiding behind a tree, but that's not here nor there. But let's say I'm watching Kylie, okay, and Kylie's walking along, and all of a sudden I see a look in her face, and she goes up and she pushes somebody down the stairs. Okay? And when that person gets to the bottom of the stairs, Kylie all of a sudden rushes down and says, "Are you all right? Are you right? Some kid just pushed you down the stairs, and I just want to make sure you're okay." Okay? Okay? And so the kid gets up and thinks, "Oh, Kylie's this great person." Okay? And then I continue to observe Kylie, and I notice that, Kylie's in math class, and I notice that she's getting the same answers as the person sitting next to her for some reason. She said I could pick on her, so I'm going to. Okay? Now, let me ask you this. Is she showing signs of being a Christian? No. No, you wouldn't be able to say. Now, let's say that I'm observing Kylie, okay, and somebody is having problems. They drop their books or whatever, and she rushes over to help them up, even if it makes her late to class. Or somebody's having a hard time, and she goes over and comforts them, okay, even if it makes her late to class. I mean, you get in trouble for being late to class, I assume. Yeah, you do. They do in my school too. Okay? Or when she starts doing nice things for people that maybe cost her something, would you say that would be loving other people? And would you say that would be a sign of being a good Christian? Okay, so I want you to start thinking in your mind now. If somebody were to follow me around for a week and I didn't know they were there, how many signs of being a good Christian would they see?
Depends.
It depends. My dad used to have this saying. My dad was a pastor too, by the way. My dad used to have this saying. It said, if you were put on trial for being a Christian, would there be enough evidence to convict you? Think about that for a second. If somebody were to put you on trial for being a Christian, would there be enough evidence to convict you?
Yes.
I'd be careful with the no answer. But you don't have to answer that out loud. Okay, go on to the next slide. So how can we love one another? If part of being a Christian, or people knowing we're a Christian, is that we love one another, how can we love one another? What does that look like? Oh, guess what you get to do again? Talk with the person on the other side. Don't talk with the same person you did the first time. Talk with somebody different. And what does loving one another look like? So in a Christian form of view, go.
Kindness is love. Brotherhood and sisterhood. No. Christian.
Okay, I need 3 people. 3 people. Raise your hand. There's 1. 2 more. 2. 1 more. No. You just get to. There we go. 3 people. What's it look like to be kind to one another? Love one another. Sorry. Building each other up. Good. Audrey?
You care for people.
Okay. Thomas?
I'm not doing mine.
You're not doing yours? Okay. Caden, would you do his for him? Never mind then. I need 1 more. Then I need 1 more since Thomas volunteered but won't give me his answer. What does it mean to love one another? Okay, helping each other. Okay, let me ask you this. Does loving one another mean that you have to like one another?
No. Yes. Maybe. Love your enemies.
Yeah. I'm surprised the kid in the red shirt didn't say that. There we go. I knew I was going to say it. Okay? So, I want you to keep that in the back of your mind for a second, too. Does loving one another mean we have to like the person that we love? No. Ooh.
Maybe.
Okay, well, let's see what loving one another looks like. I think I have another video. Oh, there we go. We do.
What does it mean to love one another? Is it an emotion of the heart, an act of service, a force of the will? Can love ever truly be defined? We think so often in simple terms, but real love goes much deeper. It strengthens the weak, helps those in need, lives in harmony with all people, and holds us accountable. Love means carrying each other's burdens, admonishing and instructing, showing compassion and feeling it too, spurring one another to good deeds, confessing and forgiving, building and maintaining trust, being of one mind no matter our differences. Love means accepting others for who they are and allowing ourselves to be changed in the process. So love holds us together, grafted by faith into the one true Christ, whose example compels us to love one another.
Okay. You like that voice? I can't do it. I can't do it. No, I can't. Sorry. So, something that surprised you from that video? It wasn't me. Good. Something that really surprised you from the video? Anything that like popped out at you, surprised you, you didn't think of it that way before? Audrey? I understand what you're saying. There was a lot of things in there that you didn't think about love being, right? Accepting other people. There was did you get the admonishing part? Do you know what the word admonishing means? Sometimes when somebody's doing something wrong, letting them know they've done something wrong, but not in a bad way. Not in a, Cole, you stupid idiot, how could you do that? That is not a kind, but, hey Cole, I saw you do this the other day, and I'm not sure that you were really sending the message that you think you should have been sending there. See the difference in that? Okay, I'm not like telling you, hey Cole, how could you do such a boneheaded thing? I'm like, hey Cole, I don't think you really I think you thought you were sending one message, but I think you were sending this message instead. And sometimes I send that message too, okay? I'm sorry, Megan, go. Having trust, okay? And not only having trust, but also, what was that? The B word there. Building trust? Yeah, that one too. Building trust. How do you build trust? And having trust, good. How do you build trust? Matt.
Having a strong foundation in that it does, when you build the trust up as a foundation, it won't be weakened or fall apart.
Yep. What kinds of things build trust?
Friendships.
Friendships, okay. Okay, trusting other people.
Being buddies.
Being what?
Being buddies. I
Okay.
use 2 P words.
Great. So let me ask you this. Let's see, who am I gonna, Declan. Okay, so let's say that Declan says, hey, Mr. Mike, I need a ride to work. Can you give me a ride to work? And I'm like, hey, Declan, I would do that for you, no problem. Just let me know when, I'll be there. And so Declan says, hey, I need you to pick me up at 4 o'clock so I can be to work. I'm like, fine, I'll be there. And 4 o'clock comes and I'm not there. And 4:30 comes and I'm not there, and now Declan's late for work and I'm not there. And so he calls me up and I'm like, oh, Declan, I'm sorry. I'm out with Cole right now. I completely forgot about you. Don't worry, next time, I'll pick you up. What time do you need me to pick you up next time? And he's like, I need you to pick me up at 4 o'clock next time. Yeah, okay, got it. 4 o'clock comes the next time. I'm not there. This time he calls me up nice and quick, and I'm like, oh, man, I'm really sorry. Palmer and I went out for a soda. Next time, okay? What time you want me? How many times do you think it's going to be before Declan says, I can't trust you anymore? Not too many times. I'm not building that trust, right? Yeah, probably not at the first time for some of you, right? But let's say that first time I show up and I'm waiting for Declan at 4 o'clock. And Declan one day just calls me up and says, oh, my car broke down, I need somebody to, I'm like, Declan, I'm there for you. I drive and go get him, take him to work, okay? So you see how you can start to learn to trust me, as opposed to the, I never know what Pastor Mike's gonna do for me kind of thing, okay? Sometimes we as friends, okay, your best friend says, hey, I wanna tell you something, but you can't tell anybody else. And you're like, oh, don't worry, I won't tell anybody else, except for my best friend, because, I can't tell my best friend, right? Okay, and then it gets back to you that they told somebody else. Are you trusting that person? And Paige is like, I'll trust them, don't worry, it's okay. Just kidding. Okay, so one of the ways that we learn to trust people is to be people of our word. If we say we're going to do something, we're going to do it. If we say we won't do something, we don't do it. Okay, great. Oh, look, God's word tells us to love one another. That seems pretty simple, right? I mean, how hard can it be to love somebody? Let me tell you. And then I'll get to the rest of that. My last school, my boss was a fantastic person. If you can't feel the dripping sarcasm, then let me just say sarcasm is dripping. My boss was a fantastic person. In fact, there were those of us in the department that we tried really hard not to be the piece of grass that was above all the other pieces of grass, because if you stood out in any way, she made sure to cut you down to size so that, and yeah, my boss was a fantastic person. And in fact, yeah, she did some things that, well, I'm no longer at that school because I couldn't put up with it anymore, okay? How many of you think that I love her? How many of you think I like her? Let's try that. How many of you think I really didn't like her at all?
Don't like her, but you love her. Well, yeah.
Okay? Here's the thing. Yeah, I really didn't like her. And because I didn't really like her, I almost did the H word. But I really didn't like her. I really, really didn't like her. And all of a sudden, one day, God convicted me. And God said, you know what? She needs me. You need to pray for her. Have you ever prayed for somebody you don't like? It's not an easy thing to do. Okay? It isn't an easy thing to do. But you know what is an even harder thing to do? It's a really hard thing to not love somebody that you start praying for. Now, I didn't like kissy love her. I still to this day really don't like her as a person. But I realized that I needed to love her enough to pray for her. needed to pray for God to change her, and quite frankly, for God to change my attitude, which he's still working on, by the way, but we'll get there eventually. Love is more than a warm, fuzzy feeling you have towards someone. So what does love really look like? Well, let's go into the next slide then, see if it says. There we go. Love is a choice. I bet you haven't heard that before. Love is a choice that we make. We have a choice of whether or not to love somebody. Sometimes it's easy. My bestie friend, I love them. They're so good. I can trust them. I love them. They will do anything for me. I will do anything for them. Sometimes it's easy. And then you have people like my boss. Okay? Oh, I didn't even tell you about my previous, when I first moved to Maryland, I told you about some of you have heard this story. When I first moved to Maryland, I was working at University of Maryland, downtown Baltimore, right next to shock trauma. My boss, only on Wednesdays, knew I had to leave at 5 o'clock in order to get home. I was living up like half a mile from where Declan and Addie live. Okay, so I was living there, and I was coming to church down here. So I was taking the subway from Baltimore out to Randallstown, and then driving down here to church. So I needed to leave at 5 o'clock in order to make it down to church in time. Only on Wednesdays, at 5 minutes till 5, my boss would come and give me an hour's worth of work to do before I could go home. Only on Wednesdays. Yeah. I didn't like him. To this day, I can't eat Indian food because I don't like him. And he was Indian, by the way. Yeah, there you go. I didn't make that connection. Sorry. But at some point, I have to make the choice. Am I going to love people like that? Should I love people like that? I should. Is it easy? It's not easy. But easy way to do it. So love's an action word. It's a choice we make. Love is what we do that shows the world that we're followers of Jesus. Okay? Now, if I had gone to this guy and cussed him out and ripped him up on one side and down the other because he was giving me all this extra work so I couldn't make it to church on Wednesday, I would have been a fantastic example of being a Christian, right? Yeah, no, I wouldn't have been. However, I have had people come to me and say, you worked for him? How could you work for him, and how did you put up with him? And they actually saw me interacting and didn't even realize by the interaction between this boss and I, some of the repair people, that when I moved to Hopkins, we're still doing repairs, and they came and say, really? And they would come and say, how were you able to work with him knowing the things he was doing to you? And I was able to explain to them, it's because I'm a Christian, and one of the things I as a Christian need to do is not put others down even when they're being mean, but to try and love them, even if I didn't like them, which is not an easy thing to do. So love is what we do that shows the world we're followers of Christ. So I think I'm on to my last slide now, right? No, we got 2 more slides, or 3, something like that. 2 more. Okay, great. So I need a reader. Oh, good, Thomas. Thank you.
Love is a patient. Love is a kind. It is not jealous. Love does not brag. It is not arrogant. It does not act disgracefully. It does not seek its own benefit. It does not provoke. It does not keep an account of the wrongs suffered. It does not rejoice in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It keeps every confidence. It believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things.
Did you know in the Bible, you probably did you know in the Bible there's a list of things we should do in order to show love to other people? I especially love this one.
Love.
It does not keep an account of a wrong suffered. It doesn't, oh, you mean I'm not supposed to keep an account of, oh, Paige called me a name the other day. Paige didn't give me a fist bump the other day. I tried to speak to Paige, and Paige ignored me. Already, she's got 3 strikes against. Now, we don't keep that. I mean, and that's minor things. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the minor stuff. I'm talking about that person talked about me behind my back. That person called me names. That person destroyed my reputation at school. Okay? Yeah, all those things that make it really hard to love people. It says we shouldn't keep an account of those things. patient. It's not jealous. It doesn't brag. Oh, I can't brag. I can't say how much better I am at pool than Timmy. He was waiting for me to say something that wasn't true. Okay, I'm not really even that good at pool with it. But this is a list of things that if people are observing these things in us, it's going to show them that we're a Christian. Okay? How many people do you know that aren't Christians that don't keep an account of when people do wrong to them? There are some marriages now that aren't marriages anymore because the people in the marriages kept a record of when people did things wrong in the marriage, and then we'd bring them up, and you have an argument. Oh, yeah. Like, do you remember when you did this? Like 5 years ago. Some of us do that with our friends, don't we? Remember Barb, my first girlfriend? Okay? She broke up with me. I didn't mention that part. Okay? After I dated Robin, Barb and I started dating again. Yeah, I know. I was like, why? Because that was the girl I was going to marry. Was. Yeah, I thought. Yeah. She married a singer, and she lives like down in Tennessee or something now, where the weird people come from. I know. But what if I were to have every time that we talked, I would have thrown in her face the fact that she broke up with me already? How long do you think we would have dated? Not very long at all. Okay, so it's one of the things we got to be careful in our and I'm talking dating relationship there, but just in regular relationships. Okay, how many of you have brothers or sisters, and then when you fight, you remind them of something that they did to you? Love does not keep an account of a wrong suffered. Yes, love even extends to our brothers and our sisters. I know, it's hard. Okay, I haven't told you the stories of my sisters yet, but you guys have heard me. My younger sister and I, we were like this, and now we're like this again. My older sister and I, we were like this, and we're kind of still like that. I was not always the loving person you see standing before you here. Okay. My older sister did everything she could. She's 9 months older than me. And I think something like that. February to November, that's 9 months. Yeah, there we go. 9 months older than me. My parents were good Catholics, it's okay. And she would boss me around, and I didn't like it. And she would beat me up, and I didn't like it. And I remember the day when I finally realized that I was strong enough that I could grab her arms and keep her from doing anything to me. And hold her when my little sister, who had these wonderfully long nails, would take her nails and rake the, yeah, how does that kind of, oh, I felt so good, and finally we got back at her. Yeah, see, was that keeping a record of wrongs? Was that a good Christian thing to do? No. It felt good at the time, but it really wasn't a good thing for a Christian to do. Okay, so now I've given you all these great, wonderful examples of how not to be a Christian. How can we show Christian love to other people? Audrey.
Don't get back at people.
Don't get back. Even if they deserve it?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if they deserve it. Yeah. Okay, there's a verse in Romans, and we did this just a couple weeks ago in Sunday school, right? It's if an enemy is hungry, feed him. If he's thirsty, give him something to drink. In doing so, you'll heap burning coals on his head. I used to think that was really cool, because I used to think that verse meant that you did good things to your enemies because you could make them burn. That's not what that scripture means at all, actually. Okay, it means we need to be doing good things to our enemies, and they're going to wonder what we're up to, right? Why are we being nice to them when they're being so mean to us? And eventually they're going to ask you, and eventually you're going to get a chance to explain to them it's this whole Christian love thing. I hope, if you do it right. Or maybe you never get a chance to. Maybe in the back of their mind, they're always wondering, what makes you different? So, I think we can go, yeah, that's our last slide, good. Oh, note cards. Yes, okay. Note cards are back there. There's note cards and there are pens. And so here's what I want you to do. On one side of this note card, I want you to write down an action that you personally can take, to show people that you love them with God's love. Okay, so take a note card, take a pen, and on the front side of the note card, don't put your name on it. There's no names here. I just want you to write down something you personally can do, an action you personally can take to show others that you love them with God's love. Maybe it's something that you have problems with right now. Maybe you have a real problem with wanting revenge on people. And maybe part of that thing can be, you know, I'm not going to keep that record of wrongs. Okay, so when you get your note card, write down an action you can take to show others that you love them with God's love. Oh wait, it's an action, so we're going to have to do something with it. So. It doesn't have to be long. It can be just a few words, but an action you can take to show others you love them with God's love. This should be a personal thing. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So you don't need to turn around and tell Cole what he needs to do because no, just kidding.
Do it.
Some of you thought of something right away, and some of you are still thinking, what can I do? Can you think back to 1 Corinthians 13? There were a whole list of things you could do there. And maybe it needs to start with your siblings rather than your friends. So, speaking of which, on the other side of the note card, I want you to write down the first name of a person that you're willing to show love to in that way. We're going to make it personal. Yeah. So somebody popped into your mind when I said that, and that's the person whose name I want you to write on the other side. This is not going to me. This is not going anywhere. This is your own personal thing. This is between you and God. That action that you said you should be taking, the first name that popped into your mind when I put that up there, that person you're willing to show love to God in that way, I want you to write their name down. I want you to commit to it. I know, it's hard. You can write two people. Sure. You can write more than one person if you like. That's fine. Hey, the more people you show the love of God to, the better. Okay, so obviously, those of you that know me by now know I like a challenge. So my challenge is to do that. Yeah, to do that. There's a proverb that says the journey of 1,000 miles begins with just one step. The journey of showing God's love to everybody begins with showing love to God, God's love to one person. So that's my challenge to you this week. Show love to somebody this week in that way that you wrote down. Okay? Because that's how they know that you're a Christian, if you love one another. Last slide says, so how do people know that you're a disciple of Christ? How do people know that you're a Christian? What actions tell them that? Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we talk about love, and it sounds like such a simple thing until we realize when we have to put it into action that sometimes it means being nice to people that we don't want to be nice to. Sometimes it means forgiving people we don't want to forgive. Sometimes it means loving people that we don't really like. Pray, Lord, this week that you help us as we attempt to take this one step towards showing your love to other people, and give us the courage to do it, and give us the opportunity to do it. And we'll be sure to praise you in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay. You don't have to applaud. God will praise that. Okay, so time for small group?
Yeah, time for small group. Thanks so much for speaking, Pastor Mike. That's great. Can we give him a round of applause again? That was awesome. Awesome stuff, guys. So we are going to now exit to small group. If you're new and or you don't remember which group you're in or anything like that, come up to me and I'll point you in the right direction. But yeah, all right, let's break for small group. All right, let's hold on. Let's do something a little fancy, okay? All right, let's try it. So I'm gonna go like ready, break, and then we're all gonna say break at the exact same time. Ready to try it?
Wait, when you say break or
When
after?
when we say, we're all gonna say it at the same time. So I'm gonna be like ready, break, and we're all gonna say break at the same time. Ready? Ready, break.